Hello and welcome to the Australian Gamer Show. I'm Yug.
I'm Matt.
And tonight we're going to be talking about Fallout 3, its past classification,
LucasArts is pissed off with Nintendo,
the Dark Knight video game,
and some of our first gaming memories.
Yes, that's right. There's been so little amount of news that we're just going to reminisce.
Yes, tonight we are talking about filler. That's what we're talking about.
Well, look, let's get that pesky news stuff out of the way first. Look, let's jump straight into Fallout 3. Fallout 3.
Past classification. Now, we've talked a fair bit about it being refused classification in the past. It's been submitted to the OFLC and has been reclassified.
Oh, hold on. Miles will get really pissed off here. It's not the OFLC. The classification board?
Classification board, I think.
Yeah.
I don't care what they call themselves. So the OFLC to me, I still call it the CES when I go down there for my weekly dole check.
Okay, all right. What? No, you don't, do you?
No.
Okay.
So that's fun.
Anyway, look, it's been obviously resubmitted and it's gotten through, so we will get Fallout 3 here in Australia. It's classified MA.
It did have to get changed for submission. The changes that were made was that they the drug use is still present, but
as it should be.
As it should be.
Yep.
Because it was always part of the game, and I did hear it said that they were going to be taking that out entirely, so there would be no use of chems in the game.
And that's just a bit of a killjoy, really. I mean,
well, if nothing else, I mean, that's a big thing to do, to take out a part of the game. But what they've done is they've removed the animation that shows you actually injecting crap into your veins.
Mm-hmm.
And they've changed the name of the stuff you inject, so instead of being morphine, it's called Ultrajet. And they've done exactly what we said they would do, which is to give it fake names, and then it's A-OK.
A-OK, kids, come along, play it. Well, not kids, anyone over the age of 15, I suppose. But
yeah.
But, well, look, ultimately, as a gamer, this is a good thing right now because we want to play Fallout 3. And these changes are minor.
It's a good resolution for a retarded problem.
Yeah, that'll do. Let's go with that.
And the other thing that's worth pointing out, and Joby from Game Arena, actually, who we don't like, but...
it's true.
But in principle, he was right once.
It
time.
happened, yeah. This time not on public TV, but yeah.
Anyway, he made the point that this is actually bad in terms of protecting the children. This is actually a bad outcome. Because a game that would have otherwise been made for adults and sold only to adults and restricted only to adults is now available to anyone over 15.
Yeah.
With the only difference being that the drugs have been renamed. So what should have always been an adult experience has now, actually become allowed for kids.
Yeah.
By virtue of the fact that we don't have the rating.
Well, no, see, this actually, it changes everything, man, because now all these kids that may have gone onto the streets and said, can I get a hit of morphine, now they'll be calling it something else and the dealers will be like, I don't know what you're talking about, So it's completely okay now. I can totally understand why they've done this, and I think it's completely fair.
Yep, you would. I don't know.
Okay. But look, there's not much else to talk about Fallout 3 at the moment. Obviously, this stems from a much larger issue, the fact that there's no R18 rating in Australia, but that's just an ongoing thing,
I have to admit to some degree of disappointment in this outcome, which sounds really strange, because I know, a good game will get it, we win. But Fallout 3 stood as such a good example of why it was so fucking retarded that we didn't have... the R rating.
Sure.
Because it's not a violent game. It's a good game. It's an intelligent game. It's a game that was simply banned. Like, it's awfully hard to say.
Theoretically, we're assuming it's all these things, by the way.
Well, I mean, from my point is, it's not Postal 2.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, it would be awfully hard to stand up and say, damn you for stopping us being able to have BMX XXX, or damn you for stopping us being able to play... Postal 2
because they're games that are even
Manhunt 2.
Even in the gaming community, they are obvious exploitation sort of games.
Yeah, so those are the kind of games that are so violent and blah blah blah, and it's very hard to defend them. But Fallout 3 was something that was very
it's
easy
a gamer's
to defend.
game,
yeah, and even then, like, it's the sort of game you can say, it's a good strong story. It's an RPG. It's not. It's not this kind of...
It's not the game that any of us would have expected to be refused classification.
No, and the reasons that it were, I think, highlight the lack of an R rating even more than, this is banned because it's violent.
Sure.
Dark Sector and things like that, banned for violence. Most games banned for violence. But it's banned for drug use that would be totally acceptable in an R-rated medium.
Yeah. Frustrating. No, I know.
But now it's just gotten in, and people will just simply say, you can say, well, Fallout 3 was refused classification, and that's a good game, and they'll just say, well, but it was allowed in.
We can get
a few
it now,
minor changes. And you say, well, that's not the point.
Yeah, until the next game, kids, we'll see what happens.
So it's dumb.
It's done, it's in, but that doesn't change our resolve.
Still not quite sure when it's
R18
coming out
and things like that,
now that those changes have been made, but it might well be on the existing release schedule.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
We're in Australia. I'm sure it'll get released 6 months.
Well, no. It'll be, I would think, relatively soon.
Actually,
after.
you're probably
it's
right.
Fallout 3. It's not like it's.
Yeah.
Well, for a start, it's not by Nintendo, so it won't come out.
There's that.
Too late.
Yeah, good point. Sure. Well, look, that's really all we've got to say about Fallout 3 at the moment, I think.
Okay. Let's talk about something different.
Okay, geez,
we don't have to segue from one thing to another all the time.
Yeah,
we don't have to close one topic. It's not HTML. You don't have to, close one topic to start another one.
What the hell is wrong with you tonight?
Hey,
Did you just wake up on the wrong side of the bed? Did something happen to you today?
I have my cranky pants
Have
on.
you not masturbated yet? I mean, seriously.
Yeah, I have.
You have?
I did earlier.
Furiously? Just once,
No.
twice, a couple of times?
No, just once.
Yeah?
No, twice.
I like that you had to think about that, though. Hold on. Oh, no, there was that second
There was
time.
twice, yeah.
That's right.
This is a disturbing conversation.
Who are you thinking about when you did it?
Once, the first time I'm not telling. No, the second time I'm not telling, but the first was a porn star.
Really?
Yeah. Well, no, I was watching porn.
Oh, okay.
So
That's
her.
all right. I was about to say.
I can't remember who it was.
I think it's a bit sad if you're masturbating to a porn star.
Yeah,
and just thinking about it, because really, it's there for you.
I think it's a bit. It's not that awesome that I would be masturbating to porn either. But anyway, moving on.
Moving on to LucasArts being pissed off at Nintendo. Now, I think this is an excellent little bit of information, because with the whole, what was it called?
It's called Motion Plus.
The Motion Plus thing added to the Wii Wiimote, which allows the one-to-one movement.
Yeah.
Which, let's be honest, as soon as everyone saw that, is like, oh yeah,
Zomago
thank
lightsaber.
God, now we can do the lightsaber.
Yeah.
Apparently Nintendo didn't tell anybody about anyone at all about this
outside of Nintendo
before they announced it at E3. And LucasArts weren't particularly happy about that.
Because it would have enhanced their game to such a degree and would have been such a big sales feature for them to be able to say.
I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, the Force Unleashed and the Clone Wars that are coming out on the Wii are kind of sold as the closest experience you can get to wielding a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Especially the Clone Wars one. And interestingly enough, they're both being developed by Chrome Studios in Australia. The one here in Brisbane and Melbourne.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they would have liked to have known.
They would have liked to have been able to put better lightsaberiness in their lightsabery games. So I think that's a reasonable thing.
Yeah.
Aside from the topic itself of all LucasArts aren't that pleased, it also brings to mind certain questions of what responsibility do companies have that make hardware to tell the people that are making software about the forthcoming things. Like,
I guess here's the thing, though, with Nintendo. Nintendo have always played their cards very close to their chest, and when it comes to their hardware, all they tend to really care about is their first-party titles taking advantage of the new hardware and things like that.
Yeah, I guess.
So I'm not surprised, but I think it's completely valid for LucasArts to be kind of pissed off, and I think it's Nintendo actually, they dropped the ball in this respect, that they didn't actually,
Well, you have to wonder whether, I mean, Force Unleashed is probably not a very good example because it's not just on the Wii, it's also on the PlayStation 3 and 360, right?
It is.
So I think Nintendo's need to tell was fairly limited. But what about what was the other one again?
The Clone Wars, the lightsaber battles. But here's the thing. I mean,
is that on the Wii? Just on the Wii?
Yes, it's just on the Wii. And there's
that one, if nothing else.
Look, the Force Unleashed. I played that. I did a preview of it a couple of months ago down in Melbourne. Just the Wii version, and they did really specific stuff for as in. They went all out doing
different controls.
Most of the controls, as far as I know, for the Wii version of the Star Wars Force Unleashed are very similar to the controls and movements for the new Clone Wars game. I just can't imagine there wouldn't have been a time where like some LucasArts execs and some Nintendo execs, would have been like, oh man, hey, wish your controller was a bit more lightsabery, Well, hey, got something on the back burner at the moment. Might be interested in it, but no.
Well,
none of that.
I would think that Nintendo especially would have a responsibility to say, here is an NDA.
Sure,
we are doing this. It would improve your game vastly. Here's a dev kit. I would have thought they would have a responsibility to do that.
Absolutely. I mean, and Jesus, I mean, it's LucasArts. Even like a hey, promise you won't tell anyone, like, pinky promise, come on. Yeah, give us the old pinky.
Well, you keep saying, they could just go blah, but I'm saying, no, they so fucking couldn't. But, there should be channels to do this properly. Not everything has to be done over beers at the pub.
Yeah,
I mean, people can conduct business as business people. And this is exactly the sort of thing.
Crazy talk, man.
Not as a back alley deal, but as a proper professional company, they have had a responsibility. To LucasArts to actually tell them about
this.
It
comes down to the fact that, Nintendo are a Japanese company and LucasArts aren't.
That could, in fact, be a factor. Apparently, though, they haven't told anybody. So what other people are making games on the Wii that would really have benefited from this knowledge? In Japan, for example.
I don't know. That's like asking me what other games are made on the Wii that take advantage of the Wii.
Or what other games are made on the Wii?
Apart from Nintendo first-party titles.
What other games are coming on the Wii at all? Okay, what other games are coming on the Wii that are of any goddamn interest whatsoever? To me,
you know what?
And real gamers.
Interesting side topic. No, to any gamers. I was talking to a mate of mine that actually runs a Nintendo website.
Yeah.
And he was saying it's really frustrating. Their traffic is down by like 50% at the moment because Smash Brothers came out. Now what?
Yeah, I've heard the same from a lot of people. I mean, they're saying that the Wii has kind of hit its saturation point, that everyone's got one now, so no one is buying them anymore, and the sales figures for them are dropping really, really badly.
I mean, look,
the PlayStation 3 is the only one that's apparently selling particularly well around the world.
Well, that's because it's got so far to go, and because no one has one.
That is true. I mean, the 360 is the same. The 360 isn't selling well. I was also reading today, and this is a bit random and off topic, but the 360 in Australia, the 360 arcade is actually outselling any of the other units.
What's the arcade? Is it?
It's the one without a hard drive.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the hard drive, the one without a hard drive. That's kind of
not cool.
Yes and no. I was talking to someone at when we were in Sydney. Some guy was looking to buy an Xbox 360 to upgrade from his current Xbox.
Yep.
And he was basically, the guy said, "How much is it?" I was like, $500. And I'm like, and he's like, "Oh, that's a bit too much." And the guy's like, "Well, too bad." And I basically made the point that he could look at getting an arcade. Because I can't not interrupt other people in my own business.
Of course not. No, not
that
you.
He could get an arcade and then just get one of the hard drives down the track. And we looked into it a bit, the prices. And to get an Xbox 360 and 120 meg, I think it was. 120 gig hard drive.
120 meg hard drive would be a bit small, but
yes, I get it.
Okay.
They are that would come to the same price as getting the Pro unit in any case. So getting them separate, like just getting an arcade now and then getting the hard drive later is actually the same price. As getting the Pro.
Get the Xbox now, instant gratification straight away, and then get the hard drive when you realise you need it.
Well, even aside, I mean, you probably know you need it, but you can still play most of your games. You can't get the live stuff happening as well, but, you can get a bit of gaming happening and then get the hard drive next week or the week after.
You can get started, that's right.
Yeah,
that's fair enough. I hadn't really thought about that.
So when you consider the fact that the Xbox Arcade is actually the cheapest console, it is cheaper than the Wii now. It's $350.
Jesus, I didn't realize that.
The arcade is $350 now. So it's actually a pretty goddamn affordable, console. And for what you get, like the hardware is pretty good too.
That's amazing. That's really, really cool.
Yeah. So one thing I'm curious about, and someone else might be able to answer this, is whether the arcade can do HDMI output, and I'm not sure it can. I think only the Pro can.
Yeah, only the Pro. Is that the Pro
and
one?
No. The Pro is the
no, that was the
middle
Elite
one. Yeah, the Elite is the
Jesus,
black one.
now I'm getting confused.
But the Pro can do HDMI now, I know that.
All right, fair enough.
So-
Hey, look, just as a side topic here.
We got a side topic off the side topic. We're probably going to end up like...
No, we'll bring it all back. We'll bring it back
Nice.
to the beginning somehow.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll remember, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
why not?
You said while we were in Sydney. This is something we should probably actually have talked about.
We probably should. This should be a whole topic on its own.
There should have been. I know. Why didn't we do this?
Because we're stupid.
There's
we
that.
Don't know what we're doing.
There's that. Yep, right up there. We went to Sydney and visited Rockstar's offices and previewed the upcoming Midnight Club Los Angeles game.
Indeed.
And yeah.
Can I give it a 2-word review?
Ooh, I don't know. You can give it a 2-word preview.
Preview.
Yeah, go.
Fucking awesome.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah.
And you and Matt doesn't even like
I don't
car
like driving
games.
I'm writing a preview at the moment, and in which I basically start by saying I'm so unmanly that I like Buffy.
It's true.
And musical theatre, but I don't like cars.
It's absolutely. I'll back all of this up here.
I have Avril Lavigne CDs.
I didn't know that.
That is true. I actually bought them.
Oh man.
I know, it's humiliating. In any case,
I don't even.
My
feel
point
like
is, I don't get the car thing. I don't get the custom import car thing. I don't get it at all. The whole scene, I think, is full of retards.
Yeah, but Avril Lavigne. I'm sorry. I don't even feel like picking on you. I just feel sorry
I know,
for you.
it's just sad. It's not even. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to break your concentration. You don't like car games. You're unmanly. You're a bit of a woman. You're a bit of a girl. You're a bit feminine.
Yeah. Why'd you have to go and make things so complicated? An Avril joke. Awesome.
Yeah,
anyway,
great. Thanks.
So yeah,
we've now just ranked the second worst show of all our shows.
What's
Thanks
the worst?
for that. The worst is when you were drunk.
I don't know. Would it be that one, or was it that one? Would it be the one
In
where
my
I weighed
mind.
my poo?
No, that was awesome.
That was awesome.
Anyway, yes, you don't like car games.
I don't like car games. I don't understand the whole
You're a bit of
scene.
a
And to be
girl.
honest, the process of tuning and customing my car doesn't appeal to me all that much. But the actual driving and the actual racing was really awesome, even though I sucked at it.
Yep.
Yug did a lot better, which goes to show that it is a matter of skill. It's not the game at fault. It's just me. But yeah, no, it's great fun and it looks amazing. It's built on the Grand Theft Auto 4 engine, the same engine as Grand Theft Auto, the Rage engine.
Yeah, look, and the interesting thing to note is the Rage engine was developed by, God, I'm going to screw this up.
Yeah.
Rockstar San Diego. I'm just guessing there.
Just say stuff at random. Rockstar New Mexico.
Rockstar New Mexico developed the Rage engine, and a different Rockstar...
Yeah, Rockstar North, I think.
Rockstar North made Grand Theft Auto 4.
Yeah.
So, Grand Theft Auto Los Angeles... Midnight Club Los Angeles is actually developed by the same guys that made the Rage engine. So they kind of know how to use it.
Yeah.
And it's very shiny, it's very pretty. And I just kind of want to emphasize, because this was my thing going into it. My big thing was, okay, I'm playing a game based on the Grand Theft Auto engine where you drive around and do street races. Hold on. Wasn't this an aspect of Grand Theft Auto 4? Why am I going to really care about this?
Yeah, the first concern when hearing that it's based on the engine that Grand Theft Auto 4 is so it's Grand Theft Auto where I can't get out of the car.
Yeah, exactly.
And have no missions and there's no radio stations. Wow, that sounds awesome.
Yeah,
but it's nothing like that.
No,
at
it's
all.
not. It's you compare it to like your other illegal street racing games and things like that. Except it's obviously a completely open world environment. It's Los Angeles, and apparently very accurately modelled on it. And it's way shinier.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I think I could really say to particularly sell it is it's really fun. And I think that is important because I've played like I find a lot of driving games, a lot of racing games especially, I just have a great deal of trouble finding the fun. I said in my preview actually, like with games like Gran Turismo and stuff like that, people, race them and they spend hours and hours just going over the same track over and over
to make sure they can do it
to
just
get,
right.
To get a split second off the time, know, to get it under a certain time. And my thoughts are that if I wanted to do the same boring tasks over and over and over to get little or no reward, I'd play World of Warcraft.
You do.
Yeah. So
I just think it's kind of exciting because I haven't really been into the driving games for quite a while, and just recently I was playing Grid.
Yeah.
And I just think that's really surprised me. It's a really awesome game.
Yeah, really fun.
So between Grid and Midnight Club Los Angeles, I'm
which
kind of getting back into it.
Which are very different games. Grid is much more racy.
Yeah.
And,
it's more track-based and racing and stuff like that, but kind of comes straight on from the Colin McRae Dirt. So a similar feel to it, especially with the menu system and stuff like that. But
okay. I
okay.
didn't play much of Dirt.
All right, fine, whatever. But yeah, look, that's Midnight Club, and that's coming out in October.
Yeah, it should be awesome. It's definitely one to watch out for. The Midnight Club series has never really had the prominence of something like Need for Speed Underground, or probably even Burnout.
But it probably should have.
It should, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Midnight Club, Need for Speed Underground really had the two big advantages, and I've said all this on my previous.
Vin Diesel.
Well, yeah. One is that it's Need for Speed, and people know that brand.
Yes.
It's such a prominent brand, and the other is that Need for Speed Underground came out at pretty much the same time as the Fast and the Furious, so that
Vin Diesel.
that raised the profile of the whole Underground.
Is it possible to say Vin Diesel and not sound cool while saying it? Do you know what I mean?
Hello, I'm Vin Diesel.
Wow. Sorry, that answers that question. I thought that'd be way more difficult. But you being, the feminine Avril Lavigne. I don't even... How can you not know?
Oh, well, I just call her Snookums. And until I get out of my bed and make me a cuppy.
Hold on. So, you like Buffy the Vampire Slayer so much you actually bought a backpack?
I didn't buy a backpack. It was actually given to me.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yep. You listen to Avril Lavigne.
Yeah.
You mentioned your love for Lindsay Lohan
regularly,
more often than anyone else on the planet.
No, I pick on Lindsay Lohan these days. I don't love her.
You don't love her?
No.
But you used to.
I used to.
What happened, Matt? What happened?
Fucking mental.
Right. That doesn't work for you, or
not really? No,
okay.
I mean, there's a degree of mental that I like, but then there's creepy levels of mental. I mean,
it's just gone overboard.
I mean, actually, Tori Amos. You're all familiar with Tori Amos?
Of course, yeah.
She did a song that was quite cool about Lindsay Lohan.
Really?
Yeah, she did, and it's basically saying when I was young and did stupid things, and did silly things, I did not get caught because I'm not stupid.
Oh.
And it's for example, I wouldn't, if I drove around with cocaine in my car, I wouldn't have it on the dashboard because I'm not stupid.
Right.
And it's like this whole song is, she
basically
said all the naughty things that I did, I kept in my hoo-hoo, I think was which was...
Yeah, fair enough. So basically she's saying, do it all, just don't get caught.
Don't get caught, yeah.
And wise words.
Because you have to be dumb to get caught.
Wise words. I'd encourage all of our readers and listeners to,
when experimenting with drugs, when doing stupid things, when doing illegal and naughty things, just don't get caught.
Yeah.
Do it.
Downloading software or anything like that, just don't get caught.
But downloading software is really not in the same league as travelling with cocaine and four-wheel drive.
I don't know, man.
As far as hardcore and cool goes.
How can you imagine how bad it would be, right? I mean, okay, if you went to prison, okay?
Yeah.
If you went to prison and you're like, next to a couple of guys, what are you in for? Smuggled 12 bricks of cocaine across the border. What are you in for? I slashed a woman in the throat. What are you in for? Well, I pirated a couple of video games,
Yeah, I would not want to go to prison for piracy or hacking or anything like that. If I go
Do you
to
reckon
prison,
if you went to prison for that, you'd actually pretend to make up that you did a different crime instead?
Probably, but I think people know. I think they'd find out. And stuff.
No, see, I reckon you could probably get away with that sort of Steve Buscemi on
just go for Edge and just go, what, this guy, he's little, but my God, he's crazy.
Yeah, there's something there's something just damaged about this person that I just don't want to know about. Actually, I can see that with you right now.
I think you'd have to start, as soon as you got into prison, by just by doing something so messed up that everyone goes, you know what, keep away from him.
You know what?
Like, just eat a guy's face or something like that.
No, because that's too difficult, right? I reckon, how's this? Preempt it. As soon as you get to prison, stab yourself.
Yeah.
Just
somewhere
sort of
you don't really need that much. Because, in the shoulder.
Yeah. Stab yourself, and then everyone's like, Jesus. He's crazy, that's a level of crazy
people wouldn't be afraid of you though. You need to make them afraid.
But it makes you unpredictable. Making you unpredictable makes you scary. I'm just saying I'm not saying if I go to prison I'm going to stab myself.
No,
but I'm saying it's it's different. I haven't seen that in a movie yet.
No, if I go to prison, I'm immediately cutting some guy's face off and eating it and then saying, now I'm still hungry. That's what I'm doing.
No, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But you won't be able to, because as soon as you approach Bubba to cut his face off...
Oh, it doesn't have to be Bubba. That's the point. You go for find someone smaller and weaker than me, which granted could be hard, but there must be someone in there for tax fraud or something, you know.
Here's the thing, I just don't think there is anyone. You were just talking about how feminine you really are, dude, alright? I don't think you're going to, you know, you are the weakest link if you go to prison.
I know,
you know?
Yeah.
And even though I am more manly than you, I'm not that far above on the food chain of prison inmates sort of thing, you know? So, look, anyway, let's stop about talking about going to prison. It's making me nervous.
And talk about
the Dark Knight video game. Look, I just want to briefly talk about this because it's been talked about for months and months and months now. You know, speculation about who's making it and if it's even coming out. And I think last month Gary Oldman actually let slip that there's a Dark Knight game being made. And now there was a post on Kotaku that basically said someone from EA said there's problems with the development.
Are you quoting me here?
No.
Okay.
On Kotaku. There was actually a thing on Kotaku. An EA insider actually said this. The reason that this really interests me is because the game is being made by Pandemic in Brisbane.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know much about it at the moment. We haven't gone into Pandemic in the last year and a bit because, frankly, they haven't announced any games.
Yeah, now, it's worth pointing out that Pandemic haven't officially announced that they're making the Dark Knight game. And so it may seem that we're telling like some sort of secrets that we've heard, but we actually have no source on this beside the news that, you know, that has been like various press people. So
yeah, pretty much.
IGN, Kotaku have all posted about this. We're not.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is something just to note as well. I mean, we're friends with a lot of people at developers and things like that, and one of the reasons why we're still allowed back into those developers is that we don't talk about the things that they tell us because they're fairly secret and they might get fired.
Which is not to say that they even tell us that much. I mean, generally when we go out with these people, we go out and have a few beers. We don't say, so, you know, what was this game you were working on?
Well, maybe you don't.
Whatever. You just don't drink beer.
That's right. It's true.
But anyway.
But yeah, look, I just wanted to bring this up because everyone loved The Dark Knight. Have you seen it yet?
No. I was thinking about going and seeing it tomorrow, and then I decided not to.
I'm so tempted just to not talk to you anymore. How could you have not seen The Dark Knight yet?
You keep saying that, like it's hard to not see something.
What? Hold on.
Have you seen One Flew
Over? That was
Over?
a double negative. It's hard to not see something.
No,
hard
it's not.
To see.
It's one negative.
Hard to not. Oh yeah, you're right. It's hard to not see something. Well, why don't you see it?
Because seeing something is an active thing that you have to do, right?
Yes.
So do you know how you not do something?
Yeah.
You just don't.
How? I'm just wondering how you could.
If it came to me.
Yes.
If the whole theatre just came to me.
Yes.
And was put in front of me, I'd probably watch it.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? But,
yes.
But you keep saying, like, how can you not have seen it? I'll
yes.
tell you how. I just sat there.
Yeah.
And it didn't get watched.
Right.
That's how that happened.
Okay, you're right. You're absolutely right. Let me rephrase myself. How could you be in a position where you haven't seen it already?
What do you mean a position? I'm sitting in your room. How's that relevant?
How could you not be excited enough?
The question is, why didn't you see it?
Why didn't you see it?
No, didn't want to.
Oh!
I will. I'll get around to seeing it. The question that you're actually trying to ask is, why is it not as important to you to have seen it as it is to me?
Yeah.
The answer is,
Oh, God, you are a woman. You're such a girl. So
I've seen a bunch of other movies lately. I'm going to see The Clone Wars on Monday. Yes, I am.
So, hold on. Yeah, no, go on. I want to hear the other movies.
I saw Get Smart recently. I've seen Kung Fu Panda. But I haven't seen The Dark Knight.
So, okay. Now, granted, Get Smart and Kung Fu Panda, good movies. Good movies. But you chose those movies over The Dark Knight.
I didn't.
And might I say, you are a definition of sorts of a geeky, nerdy kind of guy.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And yet, you threw off
I didn't.
The ultimate awesome superhero geeky movie.
No, I have not. my movie buddy has seen The Dark Knight. The person I go and see the movies with had already seen The Dark Knight.
How many movie buddies do you have? Just one?
Just one.
Okay.
Only one person likes me enough to put up with me long enough to see a movie.
Yep.
And yeah, no. So I just haven't gotten around to seeing it. Anytime we've wanted to see a movie, she'll say, "Oh, let's go see The Dark Knight," and I'll say, "No, let's see something you haven't seen, because that sucks." And then she says, "Oh, it's okay, I'm happy to see it." And then I say, "Shut up, bitch, and do as you're told."
No, you don't.
No, I really don't.
No. Look, trying
to get some manliness back here, even if it has to be misogyny, it's at least something.
Whatever works for you. Look, the last topic that we were going to talk about, but we've kind of run out of time, is a topic that we were talking about on. They brought up on the Net Game Radio website this week, and it's got me thinking. What was the very first video game that you remember playing?
I'm going to go with the first game. Did you want to start, or am I starting? Were you asking me?
For me, Pitfall was actually, from memory, the very first game I remember playing. I remember going over to my mate's place, the Amiga... Jesus, I just had a mind blank. Atari 2600.
Okay.
The Atari 2600, Pitfall, and Ghostbusters,
right,
which was a horrible, horrible game back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
But Pitfall was awesome. And that's it. That's my first memory.
My memories, I think, probably significantly predate yours. I don't know if anyone's familiar with the VIC-20.
Jesus, dude, you are old.
The VIC-20 was the forerunner to the Commodore 64. It was by the same people.
Sure.
And but it was a less advanced, less powerful machine. It had this big tape deck and stuff.
Yep.
And we had a few games for that. We had
so you owned one, or your family had one?
Yeah, we had one actually.
Oh, right.
I think my dad got it in Singapore, and it.
Where all good electronic items are purchased.
Yeah, we had a VHS player as well, which I think cost like $800 at the time. It was really fancy to actually have a tape player then.
Yep.
A VHS player, and so we got that. But we had this game called a couple of games called, one was Money Wars.
Right.
That was interesting. It was kind of like, if you can imagine something like Space Invaders.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Okay, but where you don't shoot, you just have to run back and forwards. You had to. It's pick
a quick
up
game, or
they don't come all the way down the screen. They just kind of fly. Imagine the aliens just stayed up the top and shot down.
Yep. And you've just got to avoid them.
You've got the like base things that are there as well, like to protect you, and basically you just had to go to the other side and get money and come back to your house.
So it's like one of those Game & Watch games where you just avoid things.
Yeah, kind of. You just had to
run from left to the right of the screen.
Yeah, pretty much.
But was that the first game you ever remember playing?
Probably the first game I can remember playing.
Cool.
And there was another one that we had that was similar. It wasn't similar in any way, but it was on the VIC-20 as well. That would have been about the same time.
Sure.
Which was, I think it was called Alien or something like that.
Sci-fi sort of.
Sort of generic sci-fi, and it was. I think it was a bit like games like Dig Dug and Lode Runner and stuff. Except it was from a top view, and you would dig a hole.
Yeah.
And then an alien would fall in the hole, and then you would fill it up again, and then that would kill the alien. And
of course it does.
Points.
Yes. Dumping aliens. Yep, that's right. Aliens are invading. Quick.
Dig
a hole.
Yeah, they'll fall in, and then we can bury them. This is certainly the best warfare that the human race can come up with.
What a thrilling movie that would make. I think the thing that disturbed me the most is when I was listening to other people the other night say what was their first gaming experience. Having people say, the first game I remember playing, Warcraft 3.
Yeah, or like Halo or something like that. And you go, whoa.
It's like, wow, I am really older than I think I am. But, yeah.
I think we've got a bit of a gaming pedigree as a result. I mean, we remember the golden age of Nintendo. The
golden age. When I was a boy,
whatever,
I was playing the same games you're playing on your DS today.
We remember when the console war was not being fought between Sony and Microsoft. You know, we remember when that was Sega and Nintendo.
Yeah.
Sega now don't make hardware at all, and Nintendo barely do.
Can I just add?
Did you get my little zing there?
I do, yes.
Cool.
No, I can see that, yeah.
It was a little dig.
No, I saw that. It was
cool.
Good work, yeah. I think about this as well. Back on that was a real console war as well. Do you know why? Because multi-platform games were different games.
Yeah, and they didn't really exist, did they? There weren't any,
You would have, like, Jurassic Park was on the Super Nintendo and on the Mega Drive. But you know what? 2 completely goddamn different games.
Yeah.
Because there was no way you were going to get a crossover. The only time it ever happened was with occasional arcade versions like Street Fighter or Double Dragon. And even then, they'd have a lot of differences between the two. You just never had games that were the same.
In the early days of the hardware too, the hardware difference and the graphical difference between the games were huge. I mean, the Mega Drive and the Super NES had such different graphical capabilities.
Really?
Oh yeah. The Mega Drive only had something like I can't remember whether it was 256 colors or
they were both 16-bit.
Yeah, that's
all you need to know.
I think it was something like 256 colors for the Mega Drive and like
the 16,000.
Yeah, 16,000 colors or something for the Super NES, and that's why games like Donkey Kong Country that looked so good late in the things era could never have been done on the Mega Drive.
Right. Okay, that's interesting to realise.
Yeah, the difference between them in hardware, if you look now at the best games on the consoles,
sure,
especially the best graphics on the consoles.
Yep.
Yeah, they were hugely, hugely different.
Yeah.
Kind of like far more than the degree between even, say, the PlayStation 3 and the Wii.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I didn't pick it quite that much, but anyway.
Not then, probably. No. But now
I'd be interested to look back, actually.
Yeah.
But, look, I think that pretty much puts it at a wrap for tonight. You can go back home and listen to Avril Lavigne. I don't know how to pronounce it or whatever. Do you listen to the Veronicas as well? What other teen idol music do you listen to, Matt?
I'm familiar with the Veronicas, but only because I want to have them in a sandwich, not because I want, not because I like their music. Though I do, in all honesty, actually think they're very, very talented.
Yes.
in terms of their ability to sing and play.
You know what? I think the easier question is going to be, what manly bands do you like, Matt?
You know, the problem is I actually suffer from manly bands quite substantially in that there's just none that I like. Like the butchest stuff that I like is like Paul Simon or I want to get into metal just on principle, like just to butch up a bit, but it's not working out because it's also noisy and...
Oh, God, that's brilliant. You make me look so good.
Yeah, I know. I make everyone look... People ask me like, what are your favourite bands? And I'm like, Kill Death and Die Blood and stuff,
Hold on, they're not real bands.
Yeah, they are. They're local bands. They're real good. They play down at
the
Death-O-Rama.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah,
but good try anyway. All right, look, thanks everyone for tuning in.
I like Muse.
The Muse is good.
They're not very butch, though.
They're not butch, but
they're good.
That's better than Paul Simon.
I like Muse and I like Eskimo Joe.
Yep.
I mean, they're not bad bands, but yeah, they're certainly better than Paul Simon.
Awesome, man. By Triple J standards, you're just edging in there. Good job.
Yeah.
But, look, thanks everyone for listening in, and jump onto the forums and tell us what your very first gaming experience was.
I like Delta Goodrum.
And with that,
we're ending Goodrum.
Actually,
she annoys me so much.
No, we're ending this right now. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll talk to you again next week.
All right, bye-bye, guys.